Hi everyone, I'm James Spinelli, founder and CEO of Great Valley Advisor Group. GVA is a leading technology-driven, full-service, registered investment advisor. GVA partners with select independent financial advisors to provide customized technology, investment strategies, compliance, and back-office solutions. This podcast will provide answers to common questions that are asked by advisors throughout the transition process by interviewing experienced individuals who have benefited from their transition to independence. Welcome to the GVA Way. Hi, I'm James Spinelli, founder and CEO of Great Valley Advisor Group, and this is episode number 27 of the GVA Way, where we're going to focus on different brands, one office, and shared success. I'm here today at the beautiful Union League down in South Jersey at Union League National, where we just had a great meeting around investments and asset management. And we have a couple advisors who came in from the Midwest to join us at that meeting. So we have Chuck Block, Mike Englund, and Tim Weigel, who have been at GVA for multiple years now, under different brands, but able to share in on the success of being in the same office. So before we get started here, let's get a quick background on yourself, Chuck, and then we'll go Mike, and then we'll go Tim.
Sounds good. So I've been with GVA for about 5 years now, in the financial planning industry for about 20 years. I live in Prescott, Wisconsin, office in Minnesota, right across the Mississippi River and the Minnesota border. And I've got a wife and 3 kids, and that's about it for me.
And I'm Mike Englund. I'm Willow River Wealth Management. I've been in the industry about 20 years as well. I came over coming up on 3 years ago. Chuck and I, well, all of us are in the same office. We all actually came from our previous firms. We've known each other longer than this, but I'm married, 2 kids. I live in Western Wisconsin as well, in Hudson, and office just across the river in Minnesota.
Tim Weigel, little different background. I changed careers. I was with Thomson Reuters for about 4 years out of college, and then decided that wasn't the path that I wanted to go down. Joined the financial planning practice about 15 years ago, and then the last 5 with LPL and GVA.
And it's been great. So between the 3 of you, we have 3 different DBA names, or let's just call it your brands, right? So we have Two Rivers, Pursuit, and we have Willow River. And so in addition to the 3 of you, there's 2 other advisors in the office with 2 other brands.
Yep.
5 total advisors, 15 staff. How does that work? Give us an understanding of how the dynamic of the office works, how you're able to collaborate, being under the same RIA, right? We're all with GVA here. And just the thought process behind that. And I know everybody kind of came over at different times we talked about before the podcast, but Chuck, maybe go into some details there, and then if anybody wants to fill in, it'd be great.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think we all got into this industry because we're all entrepreneurs at heart. And we were at our previous firm, we were kind of sold on that, and we were able to run somewhat independently at our previous firm, but maybe not to the level that we wanted to. Hence the reason for the change and going fully independent here with GVA RIA about 5 years ago. But yeah, when you take 5 entrepreneurs with little different visions, different backgrounds, all the above, you have 2 choices. We can kind of go, all right, everyone's got their own thing, but we can share some office space, share a lot of resources, or we can all kind of blend together and go under one branding. I think for us, it was an easier route to remain separate when it comes to our DBAs and separate branding. You never know what's going to happen in the future, but with that being said, the way I do it is a little different than what Mike does and what Tim does and the other 2 gentlemen in our office. So it's interesting that way, I guess. But we all have the same common core values, and we align those with GVA as well. So that makes it easy. But yeah, I guess I'm not sure if I answered your question 100%, but we got 2 other guys that can help answer that too.
A great thing from our former firm was we probably had 25 advisors in one office.
Yep.
So there was a lot of collaboration. Our staff was there together. We got to do group events, learn from each other, things like that. Mm-hmm. So when we talked about, going independent, one appealing thing was to do it together. where we could have collaboration, we could learn from each other, we could go through the process together. And then now what's really great is we have 20 or so people in our office. So there's lots of learning. There's ability for us to maybe potentially share and work together with either staff or something like hiring a CFA together, where we wouldn't have those opportunities if we were on our own.
Understood. Yeah.
And I think just to add to it, I don't think there was a lot of time. I came over last of these three, but fourth out of the 5 in our office. So I didn't have a decision to make if we independently ran or not. That's right. But in addition to what they said with all the collaboration, even as talking to clients, I think I position it as a strength. I mean, I'll talk about GVA's role. When you walk into our office, GVA's sign is there and then all of our logos are around it. So I'll just point that out sometimes when clients come in. And I think for some, there's some comfort in just 4 other brains, bodies, whether something happened to me or I talk about the collaboration for clients, for client conversation and planning, talk about sometimes if there was a forced or a unforced succession, we've got that kind of built in, same location, very similar thought processes. So I think for some folks, I think they're a little concerned if you walked in and there was one advisor, one brand, and if they're out the door tomorrow, they're starting fresh. I think you can really position it as a strength and give the clients a little bit of peace of mind that it's, even though it might just be me as the only advisor right now, there's several others should.
Yeah, there's other people that are kind of walking around the office. They see those individuals, and then from a standpoint of a succession solution or really a contingency plan, right? The thought process of those clients understanding, hey, these other individuals are here to also help me. Even though it is different brands, we do share kind of that same mindset, right? So we're always bouncing ideas off each other, I think is probably a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
And then I think another good thing is we're all different personalities. We all have similar but different practices. Some have more clients than others. Some on average have larger, account balances than others. Some want to make a lot more, maybe some work a lot more than others. We share a lot of costs. We share most of the costs, but then if someone wants to go work 3 times as hard as the other or invest in this, that, or the other thing, you still have just that independent decision. We're not having to debate or figure out what direction the firm should go or shouldn't go. So I think that's a good thing for entrepreneurial minds.
And if you're, right, because at the end of the day, you're really looking for that enterprise value, right? You had mentioned being an entrepreneur, and a lot of our advisors, when they decide to join an organization like GVA or even some of our competitors, they really want to plug into an organization that's going to help them grow their business, right? Not only grow their business from assets, but also efficiencies, right? And we talked about AI in the panel before and how that's now becoming a big factor, and being partnered with firms that are really bringing that into the fold is going to be a really, really important piece as you grow your business. So how are the cost savings, you would say, or being in the office together? I'm assuming you have rent, right, that you guys are able to share. If you're an advisor from the outside looking in, maybe at a firm that you were at previously at or similar or at another organization, thinking about this and saying, I want to join with, Jane Doe, but I don't know if I want Jane Doe's brand. I'd rather do my own brand, but maybe we can share on some of those cost savings. What are some of those that they could look into there?
Yeah, it was, I remember very clearly, about 6 years ago when I first started looking really heavy at making a move. And a couple of my first phone calls were to these guys, like, hey guys, I think I want to do something here. When I was just picturing, okay, I can find a little suite for myself and my staff somewhere.
Yeah.
Or you can think about having a really nice office space in a desirable part of town, convenient for them, our clients, and all the above. And then you look at the cost of that desirable place, a really nice part of town, all the above. Sort of thinking, okay, I think we can do better together. We still charge out our office suite based on how many offices you have, et cetera, but all your shared space, your lobby, your seating, your kitchen for staff, all your IT things.
Yep.
Internet, phone lines, you name it, TVs, we just bought some new TVs, you get to share the cost 5 ways.
Yeah.
So We just went through a remodel, renovation, re-signed our lease, and we had to pay to get some of that construction done. We all had to pay 1/5 is all.
Yep.
So it'd be really hard to find a quality space to office out of, just with my team. For example, at the same cost that we're at right now, almost impossible. So that's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
And time. If you debate going off on your own completely, you need to figure out your IT infrastructure, who's cleaning, so we're all
Who's taking out the trash?
exactly. So
Exactly. Yeah.
so we all have different strengths, and we lean on each other to help in different areas. So that creates efficiency.
Yeah.
And that saves us time and energy and cost, where now I can just focus on working.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's really like the indirect benefits as well, right? Where you're just kind of walking down the hallway. Maybe there's something new that you're looking to get into. Maybe there's just a client asked you about something that might not be in your wheelhouse today that maybe Chuck's doing, or Mike, maybe you're focused on it. And having the ability to do that is huge, right? I mean, that's the beauty of being part of that type of network.
Yeah. I think we debated, do you go directly towards LPL?
Yeah.
And then I'm one of 24,000 people.
Yep.
Or we could also be a part of GVA within LPL. And then we have our small community in Woodbury too, So it's a cool opportunity to be a part of a smaller group within the big firm.
Sure.
And there's a lot of advantages to that.
That's great. Yeah.
And then kind of think about like a mini RIA inside of your GVA RIA. That's kind of what we built a little bit.
For sure.
There's even some efficiency. This question, and a little bit the last. I'm just thinking a lot of us are hybrid, some way more than others, like work from home. Some are there pretty frequently. Some of the staff, there's a couple staff that are always there, but like I might be there in the office sometimes no times, but probably 1-2 days a week on average. I think my staff is there similar, but having others there, the office is always open. So a lot of people want to drop off checks or paperwork. A vet sits at the front desk. She's not my employee, but when someone says, "Can I drop by?" Yep, a vet's at the front. So we're not running this podunk. They stop by and the doors are locked. We haven't been there. Haven't been there in 3 days. So that's it's
a very professional way of doing it with still having the flexibility.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, and obviously you had mentioned earlier, you're plugged into GVA, and then you feel like you have your own community there locally, but then you're inside of the GVA community, which brings us together here, right? From an asset management standpoint, which is being used within all three of the practices and more practices throughout. And then you'd mentioned IT, right? Those are some things that we are heavily investing back into, from GVA Secure Office, from GVA Asset Management. We have the insurance piece now. So all these kind of help with that overall structure that we're talking about, and the growth of the different practices, right? Based on feedback that we're getting. So here's the tricky question that I'm going to throw out there. We had talked about it earlier. Do you ever envision joining together with one brand ever down the road? Was that something that you guys have ever discussed or would think about? Or are you like, I like my brand. This is what I want to do, and for the foreseeable future, this is where we're heading. Why don't you take that, Mike? I'm gonna put that on you.
I don't know that we've ever put a whole lot of thought or discussion into it. There's a lot of different personalities and thought processes within our office, so we do get off on some tangents and some things. I think what's, at least from my perspective, I think what's more realistic is there's still in the future, it's most likely we stay independently branded, but maybe have even more collaboration, as like kind of what he referenced, where it might be some sharing of staff. I mean, they share brain power right now, but we don't have someone that we share that runs our plans.
Like a centralized ops.
So I think it's
team.
more realistic.
We've had that a little bit though, a couple times.
But I think it's more realistic, at least from my perspective, that we're more connected, but still remain independently branded. But I wouldn't be opposed. I mean, I'm not.
And how about the do you have monthly meetings with the five of you, or do you do some sort of meetings regularly to just talk about what's going on in the business, or talk about anything maybe you've learned? Do you do standing meetings?
Yeah, we have a what's very generic word. We call it CEO meeting. Well, once a month, once every 2 months, depending on who's all around. So we just get together in a conference room, order some lunch in, and we talk about all the little things, the business owners have to talk about, no matter how small it is. You gotta get down to details. So like Tim mentioned, we all kind of have our certain areas that we're maybe a little stronger in or that we keep closer attention to. Like Tim's our furniture guy, I might be a construction guy, Mike's our TV guy.
I buy the TV, I don't install the TV.
So we talk about, those sorts of things. Let's get the staff together. Let's do try to plan some events for our office and our staff. So we'll get to enjoy some time outside of the office together. So those would be the CEO meetings. We do those about once every month or two.
Okay.
Yep.
That's great.
But that's where we cover. I mean, we have text. There's obviously some text, emails occasionally when we're trying to decide something, but we're not very good at 5 guys weighing in an orderly fashion. So that gives us a time on the calendar we can build.
Where you can just sit, and talk.
And other times it's talking about Brian Samick in our office. He loves to explore different software and he likes that stuff more than others do. So there's a lot of times where someone comes into the meetings like, has anyone ever done this, or I started doing whatever. What portfolios do you guys use at GVA and why and for what? So there's a decent amount of just business practice.
Yeah.
Here's some brainstorming.
That is so important, especially looking to grow, and someone maybe has already been through something you're about to approach, right, and can tell you this is how you should navigate.
Yeah.
And that alone helps you grow. I mean, just having the ability to talk it out with someone who's already been there, done that is really, really important.
Yeah. Yeah, it started out of necessity when we would have a office situation come up that, we needed to get our 5 heads together to talk through. And then now I would say it's getting more intentional about growth, about topics to cover like succession planning or our growth as an office, or we've had vendors come in to give presentations and things to that nature.
I came in, gave a presentation one time. All right, well, this has been a great discussion about the collaboration and the shared office and the different brands. So for the audience to really get to know you, before we close this out, tell me something you like to do outside of the office. What's something that you enjoy doing, Chuck Block?
Well, it's a good thing I enjoy it because I have no other option. I'm at youth sports just about every night of the week, all year long. I've got 3 wonderful kids. They all play multiple sports, and so I spend a lot of time doing that. Now, if we do have some time off with that, I do like to hunt and fish. And you see the golf course in the background. I like to golf. I'm not saying I'm very good at it, but we're going to attack this golf course later today and see what happens.
Exactly right. Mike, how about yourself?
Yeah, I like to fish. 4 out of the 5 advisors in our office are, I'd say, pretty big outdoorsmen.
Okay.
So we do a lot of it out on our own. But there's at least 1 pheasant hunting trip. There's at least 1 ice fishing trip every year that most of us.
Yeah, those are our CEO meetings in the fall and winter. Either they're out in the field hunting or we're in the ice shack.
But, I like to fish, spend a good amount of time fishing. I'm a volunteer firefighter, so that takes up a lot of my time. I used to do youth sports. Now my kids are getting older, so that's kind of in the rear view. I still have some commitments, but not like the youth sport days. So, hunt, fish, be outdoors, fighting fires.
Gardening. You're a big gardener.
I like gardening. That's my therapy.
Yeah, that's great.
But
very nice.
Apparently furniture for me.
He's got a good furniture
He's
guy.
got a big furniture guy. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like Chuck said, I have 2 young daughters, so we're now involved in activities with them. We've got a little swimmer and gymnast. But I have a nice lifestyle practice where if I'm not working, I love to be out muskie fishing or doing some hunting, and this gives me that flexibility to have my hobbies and my work be kind of at my disposal, I guess.
That's great. Yeah, and that's one of the big things about this space, especially with creating an efficient office or having backups or successions or contingencies, is it does award you with the ability to spend time with family, right, and do the things that you truly love doing when you're not on a baseball field or a lacrosse field or a soccer field, where I am pretty much all the time right now as well. So I kind of can relate there.
And I think to add to lifestyle practice, we all had it. I mean, we've all been in the industry for quite a while. So our previous firm, we had it. Like, we had more and more flexibility. Sure. But now it's so there's no conflict of interests. Like I have more and more, and part of it's stage of life and my kids' ages and stuff, but there's no guilt. Like I'm traveling more than I ever have. These guys make fun of me a lot for it.
Yeah.
Previously, there'd have been times where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should do that for no reason other than there's some expectation on me or
Yep.
what's the managing director or partner or the company expect of. Now it's like, yeah, let's go on another fishing trip. Clients are taken care of.
Yep.
There's no.
That's great.
So.
That's great. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on the podcast today. This was a really good one, and look forward to playing some golf with you.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you. The opinions voiced in this podcast are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be suitable for you, consult the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision.